If you want to make a delicious brisket and not have to stress over it, you're in the right place. First thing you want to do is get your brisket. Trim that down. We're going to take all that excess fat off. Make sure that you don't leave any fat that won't render down on here. A lot of people like to leave up to a quarter, even a half inch of fat cap on here. I personally don't like to bite into that much fat, so I trim mine a little bit leaner. My main objective is to get an even layer of fat to get an even cook. Also, the backside, you want to make sure you get all that silver skin off and trim up any excess fat as well. Here's my brisket all trimmed up. I'm going to use barbecue sauce as a binder. Just rub that in, make sure the seasoning will stick to it. And I'm using 2 different brisket rubs, and I'm going to apply very heavily just so I can make sure that every square inch, every bite of this brisket is well seasoned. If you don't want that much seasoning on your brisket, you definitely don't have to use it. I just like to have an even coat, and also the salt and sugar gives you a good bark when you're cooking and when you leave it in the fridge. I leave mine in the fridge overnight. You don't have to season that early. We can get right into the cook. I've got my smoker set to 225. This is 3 hours into the cook. We're starting to see a little moisture on the surface. That's exactly what we want to see. Make sure your pellets are good and let it keep cooking. 3 hours later, I checked on it again. It was looking a little dry, so I added some tallow on there, keeping it moist. What I love about brisket on the smoker is that you don't have to do a whole lot. You just let him cook. Another 3 hours went by, and we officially hit the brisket stall. That's where your temperature stops rising, so this is where I push through by raising the temperature to 350. I also wrap it in aluminum foil to help the temperature rise to 195, 205 range until you get impatient. You want to let it rest for a few minutes, slice it up and enjoy.